This meeting is being recorded.
Hello, welcome to the Stretford Enders. Welcome to this look ahead for Thursday's game against Aston Villa in the Carabao Cup. I'm joined by Gavin on the video stream this afternoon. So we're going to be looking ahead to Thursday's game against Aston Villa in the Carabao Cup. We're also going to be giving our reaction to United's Europa League draw that took place this afternoon. Gavin, how are you? Okay?
I'm good, thanks. Yourself?
Yeah, no, I'm all good. I'm all good. So I think we should start with the show with obviously the Europa League draw this afternoon that took place at 12 o'clock lunchtime. I think one team that we were looking to avoid this afternoon, and that was Barcelona. Unfortunately, we got obviously we were joking before they were drawn out that we were going to get Barcelona, and I think we both jinxed it.
It looks like we've managed to get Frankie de Jong at Manchester on a Thursday night anyway. So after all the fuss about him not wanting to play in the Europa League, it looks like he's coming to Old Trafford and he's going to be playing on a Thursday night.
Well, that's it. Yeah, obviously we all know there was lots of reports last season about him potentially joining United, and he wanted to stay at Boston to get Champions League football. But that's come back to bite him on the backside, and he's going to be playing in the Europa League, and he's going to be facing us in this playoff. What do you think our chances are going to be? Obviously, there's over two legs. Obviously, the first game is away. Obviously, there is no aggregate goal advantage. So, can you see the games being a bit edgy, or can you see both teams going at
it? Well, Varane was running back on grass today. I read that in between because we spoke on the phone this morning. So I heard that this afternoon. Varane is back training, running on grass, and it looks like he's going to be fit for the World Cup, which is good news. I just hope he hasn't rushed back. Going into the game, it's not going to be until February. So hopefully, if we can get a striker in January, I think we stand a good chance of progressing over two legs. Hopefully then we'll have a lot more guys as to where the squad is. We'll have Varane back, we'll have Martial back, hopefully. Anybody that's currently out injured, we'll have back fully returned. Lewandowski's always going to be a threat against them, but I mean, as long as we've got Varane back and we got Martinez fired in and we've got all those players fired in, I would say that, as you rightly said, if we beat them over two legs, I know the first leg's away, but if we beat them over two legs, we've got a good chance of winning it. But if we don't get a striker in January, we've had some glamour ties with them over the years, but I just think it'll be, they're not the force they used to be, but they're still a strong team. And I don't know if you ask me now, would we beat them over two legs? I would say based on our current performance, I would say no. But if we get a striker in January, I think that that could be the difference, I think, because that's what we're lacking at the moment, and that killer edge up top. But I think, it's a two-legged affair. As long as we can keep a clean sheet the first leg and get a goal to take back to Old Trafford, I think we'll be okay.
Yeah, I mean, Barcelona, they're not the same team as they used to be. So I think they are definitely beatable. And if we can go there and score a new goal and, quite in their crowd, and come away with a 1-0 win from the first leg, and bring them back to Old Trafford and finish them off in the second legs. I think if you win that first game 1-0, bring them back to Old Trafford, obviously United fans will be up for it, and the atmosphere will be electric, obviously, because of the team that we'll be playing.
We'll have to try and get tickets for that one, I think.
Get
tickets to the return leg. But I think the only other thing. The only other thing that I think may cause us a problem is if, one of our big players picks up like a nasty injury in the World Cup, because then that would obviously certainly mean then that they're going to miss that game. If they, touch wood and never happens, or if somebody was to somebody like Rashford was to do his cruciates in or something like that, when, that could 6-8 weeks on the sidelines, and that means then that he's probably going to miss then the game against us. So yeah, we've got to be, it's like, if we'll just take it as it comes and then just see what happens on the night. It's over two legs, as you said, the away goals don't count, so it's just hope that the right United turn up. we've beaten them before in the Champions League semi-final in 2008. Yeah, we drew the first leg 0-0 and beat them 1-0 in the second leg. So, it can be done. And that's when they had Messi and Iniesta, Henri, they had really good players then. So, but we'll see, what is. It's not until February, but we knew it was going to happen. Same as we knew that like Liverpool were going to get Real Madrid. It's four of the biggest clubs in world football, isn't it? Even though, people don't class us as a big team anymore. It's four of the biggest clubs in world football going head to head and, vying for the top prizes in the Europa League and the Champions League. And I think that, as you said at the beginning, I think if we do beat Barcelona, I think the only ones then that could really cause us any kind of problems are, like, if we draw Ajax, Ten Hag knows them inside out. Juventus, they're not the force they used to be. But yeah, let's just, let's concentrate on, Thursday and going ahead and, getting the result on Thursday, trying to get a bit of revenge against Villa, and then try and end the season before the break then with the World Cup, then with a win on against Fulham on Sunday.
Yeah, it's obviously there's a lot of football still to be played. Obviously, I know the World Cup break is only a few weeks away, but there's still a lot of football to be played before those two games against Barcelona. Obviously, the other reason I want to come on this afternoon as well is to talk about yesterday's terrible performance against Aston Villa. I know I did the live match reaction, but I just wanted to get your thoughts on yesterday's game, because my opinion on the game yesterday is we're looking really tired, and we're only in early November, and obviously if we're looking tired now, when it comes to February and March, we're potentially having to play 3 games now, because obviously with the World Cup disrupting the Premier League, I think that is a massive worry.
Yeah, I think if we can take anything from the last 2 games, it's the lack of depth we've got in the squad. Like when we played and he brought Harry Maguire on up front against Sociedad. Yesterday, I mean, a lot of people, I was watching a lot of reaction from yesterday's game, and they said it felt like playing with 10 men with Ronaldo on the pitch. Some people were saying that they never want to see him in the United shirt again. I just think that's a bit sad, really, because, it is sad to see. But let's not forget what he's done for us. But I mean, in regards to the game yesterday, I mean, we just didn't turn up. I think we arrived. New manager bounce, Unai Emery, we've come across him in the Europa League final and they beat us on penalties. But new manager bounce, you're always going to get it. It's, it happened with us with Ole when Ole took over, and Carrick took over. It sadly didn't happen with Ten Hag. We lost the first 2 games, but just slow from the get go. Villa wanted him more. I don't know what Steven Gerrard had been doing to those players, because like obviously there's a team there, which they proved yesterday. They were active from the get go. The young guy Jacob Ramsey impressed me. Leon Bailey impressed me, but like from the get go, really, just slow, sluggish, as you said, look tired. And my fear is as you said rightly, there's a lot of football to be played between now and the end of the season. And we're looking tired in November. But I think that's just down to the lack of depth that we have in the squad. Like I think I commented that my fear is that if Diego Dalot, a lot of people don't like him. I know he's not you're not his biggest fan. But in the games that he's played this season, I felt he's come in well. But without competition for him, there's the risk of him burning out. There's the risk of, I mean, up top, striker wise, I don't think we've got any issues, because I think we've got 2. I know it sounds stupid me saying we need a striker, but like for me, we've got too many forwarding options. I think we missed Bruno yesterday, and I don't think people are saying about Bruno and stuff like that. He's not the player he was, and we look at it, but I think that we missed him yesterday. Christian Eriksen obviously played. Casemiro again at the back there wasn't really like when Luke Shaw scored on the stroke of half time with a deflected shot. They thought, oh, we got a chance here, and we go in half time now, and we'll come out second half. My mate's a Villa fan, and my mate messaged me. My mate put on Facebook. He said, what just messed this up now, the second half. And I messaged him and I said, if we hadn't got that goal on the stroke of half time, I think that there might have been, I didn't think that we had a chance. But then when we got that goal, and I said, if we come out second half, we got a good chance to take this and take the game to you. And literally, as I clicked send, the third goal went in. And I was like, all right, that's game over now then. And like they just sort of like gave up after that. And I think there was a period about the last maybe 5-10 minutes perhaps where we looked like we were going to potentially cause a threat. But apart from that, and that little spell between like the last 10 minutes of the first half, I thought we offered nothing, to be honest. I don't know. I mean, watching you a match reaction video last night, I think you felt the same.
Yeah, I don't think we can, blame individual players. Yes, for yesterday. I think everyone had the poor game, and I think what I mentioned a few minutes ago, I think tiredness is just creeping in. I was reading comments at the end of the game, saying that Ten Hag doesn't know what he's doing. He should be bringing on replacement. He should be bringing on other players. But
you've got to have the replacements there to bring on, though, haven't you? Do you know what I mean? It's like it's all well and good. Like I think you've agreed with me because we've had conversations about this. I see an improvement in Ten Hag. I think Ten Hag knows what he's doing, but it's just, again, the age-old question is we can't go on and say that he hasn't been backed because he was given money in the summer and he's bought who he thinks we needed in the summer, but we knew that he was going to take more than one transfer window to fix the mess that we were in. But like, I think that we need a striker in January. There's this, is it Cody Geico or from PSV or PSG? There's a youngster, Cody something. I think we're looking at him, but they want like a minimum of like 50 million for him. I've said to you, I've been banging a drum about Ivan Toney. He can play in Europe. He's proven in the Premier League. If we can get him at a knockdown price, then go for him in January. But I think we need a proper number 9 in there. And Ten Hag will know what he's looking for. We got Martial, we've got Rashford, we've got Ronaldo, Ronaldo, I think, will go in January. My gut tells me that he'll go in January. I think he'll go to Chelsea in January. But it shows the lack of depth. The fact that what my worry is that like when you look at Man City and you look at Liverpool, if a player gets injured, they've got somebody that can come on the bench, off the bench, and replace, or somebody in the squad that can come in and cover for them. Like I think Liverpool are missing Mane majorly this year, I think. But like when I speak to Liverpool fans, they're like, "Nah, it's rubbish, Alice. We're not missing him." But I think they're missing Mane because you see the work that Mane used to do for the team, and you think, oh well, they lack in that. But like the thing that worries me is you look at City, you look at Liverpool, you look at Newcastle. They've got strength in depth. But the thing is, when you look at those teams, they were already established teams and they just needed little tweaking. Whereas with us, we needed like a full rebuild.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think we needed like a full rebuild, which meant that like when we needed a full rebuild, it's going to be more than one transfer window to fix it. And I just think that, one, it's a question if there's enough money there. Two, it's a question of, we've replaced some players, but then it's like, where else do we need to replace? Like, for example, we've got De Gea in goal. We've got a backup of Dubravka who still hasn't played a game for us. From Newcastle, he's brought in on loan. He hasn't featured in a game for us. Now, if he's not going to the World Cup, like De Gea is not going to the World Cup, I don't think. But like these two friendlies that we've got arranged in December, let's utilize the squad of who we got there, and let's see what they can do, because we could put Dubravka in, and he could do a good job, and then De Gea then might panic a little bit and go, oh, well, hang on a minute, I got a bit of competition here. Luke Shaw, he upped his he upped his game when Malacia was bought, and he seems to have come on well. And I like him and Rashford down our left-hand side. You know, Martinez is class. We've got Lindelof, we've got Diego Dalot, and we've got Wan-Bissaka, who's not playing. I think he'd be gone in January. You know, so we just need strength in depth, I think. Like we've got Bruno. As you said, Bruno can't play every game. Eriksen can't play every game. Casemiro can't play every game. You know, we've got players there, but like what I look at is that, you know, you look at City, if Haaland's injured, they've got somebody to come in for him. With us, if Martial's injured, you know, we put an Harry Maguire up front because we haven't got. That might have just been a dig of the board to say to the board, look, I need a striker. Do you know what I mean? It might have been that, or it might have been, look, let's be honest, if he'd come on Thursday, Maguire up top, and it was like 1-1 and he'd scored the winner, we would have been calling Ten Hag a genius. But it didn't come off. So it was either that he tried to gamble and it didn't come off, or it was showing the board, look, even though you've invested, the squad still needs a major overhaul and it needs a lot of investment. And, you know, I need money. Now, speaking of that, I don't know if you've seen the news that's broken this afternoon, but apparently Liverpool's owners have put the club up for sale, which I come as a bit of a shock, but there's a lot of Liverpool fans who have been messaging me saying, oh, it's typical the club needs investing. I know they don't want to know. They want to sell the club at the first opportunity. So apparently, like FSG, I think, who Liverpool's owners are listening to offers. Like, I wish our owners would do that. Like, Liverpool fans seem a bit unhappy that the club has been put up for sale, but, you know, I don't know why they'd be unhappy with that, but it looks like, you know, and you're going to get that, you know, with the economy and things like that. If there's football teams out there that need investment and owners are just worrying about it, they're gonna run at the first sign of it. But for some reason with us, the Glazers, they're prepared to just sit there and, you know, we will see. I mean, you know, we don't know. There may be investment in January. You know, there may be money given to him in January. He may be told he's got to sell before he can buy. But, you know, I can't imagine Ten Hag letting the likes of Ronaldo and Wan-Bissaka go in January when we're struggling for depth now, unless he's got players lined up to come in.
Yeah, I mean, you know, just go on a point what you just said there about Liverpool. Liverpool owners potentially putting a club for sale. I didn't know about that bit. Like you said, you know, they need investing, and all of a sudden their owners are selling. You know, and going back to what the point you just made. You know, I wish the Glazers would do that. You know, we all want the Glazers out. You know, to get our football club back and allow new owners to come in and be allowed to rebuild the team. And all this. It seems these owners are only willing to spend in the summer once they know where we finished in the league and what revenue is going to be brought in at the end of the season. I think the stories I've heard is that there is no money available in January unless we sell. We know that there are players within the squads that shouldn't be in the squad, and there are players that could potentially free up some kind of that could free up transfer funds in January. But I think it's going to be a factor, you know, waiting for offers to come in, and then, you know, selling them and then going to other clubs. I think January is going to be a hit or miss month, you know, where unless his plans are already put in place, then I think we could.
Notoriously, you know, when you look, even when we were under Sir Alex, you know, we never bought big in January. You know, he always used to say there's no value in the window in January. But obviously, you know, time has moved on and things like that. You know, we had a couple of good signings in January. I particularly remember us signing Vidic and Evra in a January transfer window. I think we signed Henrik Larsson one transfer window in a January. But yeah, you know, we'll see. I mean, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to the World Cup. It'll be nice to have, you know, football on. I know we've announced 2 pre-season friendlies. Well, I say pre-season, they're not really. They're sort of like winter break friendlies against Spanish opposition in December. And I think the plan is for the squad that are here to go to Spain and do like a bit of warm winter training, which would be good potentially. But with Thursday's game, I don't know in terms of the lineup. I mean, I'm sure either you or me will do like I don't know if we're going live on Thursday on the channel to with team news or things like that. I don't know what's going to happen. We'll have a conversation with that off camera, of course. But Thursday, I think it's there's going to be a chance to maybe play the likes of Dubravka. Maybe Garnacho, Charlie McNeil, bring those in, Charlie Savage, give them a game. But then again, it's a trophy. And, we don't want to go out to the first hurdle. Villa with a tough opposition. They're going to want to go for it because it's a chance of silverware for them. So it's like, do we go full strength, or do we go with like strength and a bit of youth, or do we just go for the majority of youth with a bit of experience and see if any of these new players that are in the reserves and they're sitting on the bench and things like that, the people like Zidane Iqbal and things like that, if they're going to come into the fray. I mean, what's your thoughts and predictions going into Thursday?
I can see Ten Hag playing a pretty strong squad. Just to touch on the depth in the squad there, there was, going back to what we said at the start about people coming up and saying that there's certain players that shouldn't be playing. There was comments about Elanga saying he should be in a championship, building his career, then going on to a championship club and then come back to United next summer. I'm worried. Obviously we played Garnacho again yesterday. The lad was he 18 years old? I think the worry is there. It's like because we've got no other options in the squad at the moment. But we're putting, is it going to come to a fact that we're going to put far too much pressure on him? And you know what the English pressure like. If he doesn't perform in a few games, they'll going to back him. I think with us winning a trophy, I think something's got to give. I think Ten Hag has got to sit down and think, what trophy. Obviously, yes, he'd want to win whatever every trophy that's available to him. But I think at the moment in time, with the squad that we've got a big squad. But I'm sure you agree that a lot of players that we've got at the club aren't good enough. So I think the squad that we got there, that Ten Hag is using, I think those are only players that he actually trusts in. I think
it's a good enough squad to win like the Carabao Cup, no, surely. I think we've got a strong enough squad to win a Carabao Cup and possibly the Europa League, and possibly we're a million miles off the league at the moment. But I mean, domestic cup wise, we should be getting to at least the quarters, semi-finals of the FA Cup, in my opinion. But as you said, it comes down to, like you listen to Ten Hag and he'll say, like he said yesterday, wasn't good enough. And I've no doubt he'll have plans for them today where he'll give them a dressing down about, where we went wrong and things like that. But, it's, for me, it's, Carabao Cup is something that Ten Hag will probably take seriously. We don't want to be dropping out of that of the first hurdle and then losing to Fulham on Sunday and, going into the World Cup on the back of 3 defeats. Well, it'll be 4. When you include Sociedad as well. I mean, we were building a bit of a good run up until the Sociedad game, and then it's, Villa came and, here we are now looking at the back of going into Thursday, could be our 3rd defeat on the bounce. Do you know what I mean?
Before yesterday, it was 9. It was 9 games in all competitions and beaten. And I think yesterday, the first goal that Villa scored, I broke this up in my video yesterday. The first goal that we conceded, that was the first goal that we conceded in open play since early October. So
early October.
You can definitely see what Ten Hag is doing.
And he's going into games like, and he said, we want to win. We want to win. So it's like he will see every game. It's like we lost the preseason friendly, and he was like, we lost the preseason friendly, and he was like, I'm not happy with that. We should have won it. So you can see that the need is there to win every game. But like, whether or not, you can have all the might in the world to want to win every game, but whether or not, you've got the squad there to do it is a different thing. I mean, going into it, it depends what side Villa play. I mean, Villa will probably be unchanged because there's no need to change a winning formula. So Villa will probably be unchanged, and it depends on who comes in for us. I wouldn't start Ronaldo, regardless of the fact that Martial is back in training now. So see how he is and start him on Thursday. Start with Garnacho. Try different options because this is a chance now. Going into the World Cup, we've got 2 games now. And these 2 training games that we got booked in, where we can experiment with the squad and see what we got, and then perhaps Ten Hag will look at it, and perhaps he'll turn around in January and go, right, well, Cristiano, you can go. I don't want you. But he's very insistent that Ronaldo is part of the plans, and he's not part of the problem. He's part of the solution. Ten Hag have said so.
Yeah, I mean,
there's a lot of people that are saying Ronaldo doesn't want to be there. You can see that he doesn't want to be there, but no, he's certainly not he's not the player he was. But let's not forget he's 38. Do you know what I mean? And he's lost his pace. He's been through a lot, and we don't know what impact that's had on him. And I'll always love him for what he's done at the club, but seeing him in this current vein of form is just it's sad. It's like holding on to a family pet that needs putting down, and you don't want to put him down. Do you know what I mean? It's like that's how I feel when I see Ronaldo now.
Yeah, I mean, with Ronaldo, there's a lot of fans out there that say that comments already yesterday saying he needs to go. He's no longer good enough. Like you said, he has lost a lot of pace. When you look back at last season, I didn't expect Ronaldo to start every game this season. There was a period when he just phrased out the team completely. But I do think he will. I think he'll be here beyond January because he's still one of those type of players that can come on and score.
Do you think he'll stay till the end of the season, Jim?
Yeah, I think he'll stay till the end of the season. I think he'll go in the summer. The reason I say that is because the fact that the stories are there's not going to be any money to spend in January, and we're going to have to rely on selling players to bring in players. I think that will hold up. So I think Ten Hag will be.
But then again, could we sell him to somebody and include a striker as part of the deal? We don't know what Ten Hag has got lined up. Ten Hag could be saying, I want him to stay, but I wouldn't want him to stay if he doesn't want to be there. I only want him to stay if he's committed and he wants to be there and he's prepared to work for the team. Like what I saw yesterday was, he had the captain's armband yesterday, and that kind of baffled me. Why not give it to Martinez, somebody with a bit of balls, or Christian Eriksen? He's for me, the guy refused to turn up for pre-season training. He, according to reports, he wanted to leave the club, and Ten Hag then goes and hands him in the captaincy then yesterday in Bruno's absence.
Yeah,
I think we missed Bruno yesterday, and I don't agree with Ten Hag's decision to give Ronaldo the armband yesterday. I think there were other players. Like what I find strange is he said when they asked him about why he chose Ronaldo as captain, he said there are many people that could be captain. He said you've got Harry Maguire, who is the captain, but he's not featuring at the moment. You've got Bruno, who's suspended. He said you've got Cristiano. He said you've got Casemiro. He said you've got Martinez. He said there's 5 or 6 people that could be captain and could step in and have the armband. But the thing is, right, Harry Maguire is classed as the club captain, but that he's not playing, and when he's not playing, he's giving the armband to different people. So that tells me that he doesn't want Maguire as his captain. And obviously he's stuck with Maguire as his captain. But what I can see happening is as the season goes on and we get to maybe the summer of next season, I think if Maguire is still there, I don't think he'll be captain anymore. I think he'll be stripped of the captaincy, which, as I called for when Ten Hag took over. I wanted him to be stripped of the captaincy because I think if you take the captaincy off him, with the players he's got playing in front of him now, like Martinez and Casemiro and Eriksen and things like that, I think that he'll be a better player. But we will see. I mean, Thursday, I'm not gonna make a prediction on Thursday because I did that yesterday and it came to bite us on the backside. But what's your prediction for Thursday?
It could go anyway. After watching yesterday's game, it could be any scoreline. We could turn up and turn them over 4 or 5-0, or like you say, I can't.
They
see
could turn
them,
us over 4 or 5-0.
like you said, you can't see them changing the team against us on Thursday. So they'll be full of confidence on the results yesterday. I mean, the Carabao Cup is definitely to be won, and I think it's one of those trophies that Eric Ten Hag will take seriously. But I think the concern is, have we got the team to play on Thursday, and we've got Fulham on Sunday. I just think playing the same team every couple of days come the end of the season, it is going to destroy us.
Yeah, of course it will, because of the lack of depth.
Exactly, yeah, because the lack of depth in team, and I think this is something that the board and the owners need to look, need to look at over the World Cup break, and back Ten Hag in the January transfer window, and go back and say, well, there is going to be money available, and you tell us what type of players you want to bring in. I can't see there being a massive amount of players in January, if any, 2 maximum, I'd say. But I think we definitely need a striker. I think we've seen it over the last couple of weeks. Anthony Martial is back, but we know he is prone to picking up injuries. Ronaldo is, like you said there, Ronaldo has definitely lost a lot of pace. So I think the team selection on Thursday is going to be very interesting. Where everybody thinks, now he's seeing what the Europa League draw is. Maybe he thinks, I want to call him for the Europa League this season, and he believe that he can get past Barcelona and carry through to the final and hopefully go on to win it. Or he could think, I want to, you might believe, something like the Carabao Cup or the FA Cup is our best chances of winning a trophy. And I think, if you can win the Europa League or the Carabao Cup or the FA Cup this season, I think it's an excellent season for United. In regard to top 4, I think that's wide open. I think there's going to be lots of twists and turns from now to the end of the season. Obviously, there are I'm pretty sure that there may be players that come back from the World Cup who pick up knocks, and there's going to be certain teams who are going to be missing key players. Hopefully, United come back. The players that go to the World Cup from United, hopefully they all come back fully fit. But I think it's a bad move by FIFA. To play a World Cup in the middle of the season. A lot of people see it as greed, and that's just by FIFA. To pause the domestic league to play a World Cup in a country. In previous years, it never would have been held there. So I think I think that the World Cup is gonna have a massive impact on a lot of teams' season and where they finish. But like I said, top 4, bad result yesterday, but it's we're still in the race to finish top 4. And,
we're on the right move. We're on the right. We're making progress, and we're in the right. If you was to say to me last year, would you be happy with the progress we've made and where we are currently? Absolutely, 100%. I was excited when Ten Hag took over. I'm still excited for what he can bring us and what the future holds. But yeah, it is a work in progress, and let's not forget that. And it's a rebuild, and it's going to take time. Yeah,
I think I'm going for Thursday game. If I had to give a prediction now, I would go with 2-0 United, because we know what happens at United.
There'll be a reaction. Don't get me wrong, there'll be a reaction, but
there's got to be a reaction.
Yeah, but anything else you wanted to cover off today now, or?
No, I just think we need to see, like you said, we need to see a reaction on Thursday against Aston Villa. I'm going to be live, doing a live watch along for that. So followers on the channel can join in and get involved with the live chat.
We'll put something on the Facebook page as well for that, and
put it on the Facebook
you know,
page.
we'll mention this new platform now as well that we're trialing today, and see if people want to jump on and, you know, do any features in the future as well. I know I've got a couple of mates that are interested in coming on and doing stuff, so I'll check in with them and find out availability and things like that. I mean, I don't know if we've got anybody your end that have said they're interested, but yeah, as Andrew said, you know, keep sharing and liking the page and following it and smashing a like on the video. And I've enjoyed doing it, so we'll have to do it again sometime, Andrew.
Yeah, definitely. Before we go, is there anything else you want to cover, Gavin?
No, just, you know, just bring on Barcelona.
Yeah, bring on
Let's
Barcelona.
let's beat them, and let's you know, let's get this World Cup out of the way. Let's Wales bring it home. Have a month off work then to celebrate Wales winning the World Cup. And no, I'm joking. It'd be nice, wouldn't it? But it'd be nice, wouldn't it? But I think that in relation to the World Cup, I think that it'll be. Here's my prediction: it's Messi and Ronaldo's last World Cup. It'll be Portugal and Argentina in the final, and Argentina win on penalties. There we go. And Messi will have his World Cup, and they'll retire both gracefully.
Good call. Very good call for the World Cup.
There we go. England will go out in the semis to Portugal on penalties, and it'll be Portugal, Argentina in the World Cup final, and Argentina will win on penalties, and Messi will win the World Cup, and then he'll retire. That's my opinion. That's my and we'll beat England in the group stages as well, hopefully.
I'm confident. I'm confident that Wales will get out of that group. I think USA are probably one to look out for. I think everyone is massively underestimating them.
Yeah, but I'm gonna check the odds on that after actually what it is actually for Portugal and Argentina World Cup final, and I might check a cheeky fiver on it. I'm not a betting man, but it's just kind of that'd be like thing that wouldn't it? Like I said, you know, it was meant to be that we were gonna. I said she would either draw Barcelona or Ajax, and Liverpool would draw a big team. And Liverpool have drawn Real Madrid, and we've got Barcelona. So it's like we said, because we watched the draw live, me and you, didn't we? We were on the phone and we were watching it live.
Yeah.
And
we were talking about Barcelona.
I said that we'll get Barcelona. I said because they'll want a glamour tie. And then he said, "No, it's the most glamorous tie the Europa League's ever had." But no, been a pleasure, buddy, as always. I look forward to watching the match Thursday. And I'll try and jump on the live and get my thoughts when the game's on. And take care and keep subscribing, and thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Gavin. As always, it's been a pleasure. Thanks very much.
No worries. Cheers, buddy. Bye now.
Thank you. Bye.